Let those notifications go out. Let those notifications go out real quick. Again, another short one, y'all. Another short one. I just want to get up here and deliver a quick message because we have to remember this in God's reality, spiritual awakening. That, see, the narcissist and the devil, they know that our perception shape our reality. So when I talk about the 3 competing realities in my second book, How Narcissism is Bred, I talk about the perception management reality. And that is where a lot of people get stuck, is in the perception management reality. Remember, many are called, few are chosen. So not everybody is going to make it to God's reality. And definitely not narcissists. Because we are in a world that operates within a game of narcissism. Okay, there we go. Check. Making sure, and I'm going to monitor the chat here. It is the game of narcissism that we are navigating through, if you will. Because chosen one, once we learn about it, we stop playing. We stop playing. We don't allow the devil to keep playing head games, especially the narcissists. Because that's all they got, head games. Because the head game will shape your perception. So how you perceive things is going to shape your reality. And the devil knows that. That's why he uses radio frequency poisoning to keep the body's internal heat higher than it should be. Because when that occurs with too much salt, sugars, and things like that, you got the big dose of brain fog going on. And so you're not going to be able to see things as they really are, which is the trick of the devil. He doesn't want people to see things as they are. This is all part of trauma healing and spiritual growth while combating radio frequency for healthier living. So, quick message to remind everybody that be careful. When you see something, give yourself the time and space to assess it. Say, wait a minute. Yes, you saw what you saw. Yes, you heard what you heard. Don't let cognitive dissonance, aka confusion, trick you into thinking otherwise, because that's what the narcissists did with their gaslighting. They tried to get us to think we didn't see what we saw or hear what we heard. Oh yeah, we did. We also know that we no longer allow that confusion to trick us into justifying bad behaviors anymore. No, bad behavior is bad behavior. I don't care. If somebody having a bad day, so what? So what? Having a bad day does not justify bad behaviors. No. We stop doing that. We stop giving the benefit of the doubt. We have a one chance rule. But we start to perceive things as they truly are. The way that God needs us to perceive them. This is why he awakens his chosen one to all of that. Because we have to learn this. Because the spiritual battle for the mind, that's what we're in. A spiritual battle for the mind. The battle we face is not physical. We do not wrestle against flesh and blood. We are wrestling against powers, principalities, rulers of the darkness of this world, that spiritual wickedness in high places. That's the battle. So when you see people out here, you have to be able to spiritually discern so that we no longer allow the devil to shape our perceptions. How we perceive things shapes our reality. So you have a lot of people who are trauma bonded to a matrix and they don't even know that. Remember, I talk a lot about the different matrices on the Patreon channel for a reason, because there's a bunch of little matrices inside the larger narcissistic matrix. All kinds of different narratives that people are following. People get trauma bonded to different so-called quote-unquote leaders that trauma bond people to them because they make promises of a better future and never deliver on it. So that shaped their perception of reality. So they think that that's reality. They think that what they're seeing on that television, they think that that's what reality is. They don't even realize that we are the co-creators of our reality and God's reality. Now, I understand, we got to work, got bills to pay. We all do. We all do. Let me share with you all something today. All right? For those who don't know, I am Michelle Dickey. Okay? Master consultant, coach, trauma specialist, minister, and author with a bachelor's in criminal justice and a master's in forensic toxicology, and the current journey is ongoing. We are working on that. Okay? So when we talk to y'all about things like radio frequency poisoning and then narcissists and the spiritual battle for the mind, it's not just with God's wisdom. That triumphs all. But it's with basic scientific facts too, and then tried and true techniques. So I'm bringing y'all real world experiences as well, as we go through the detox and all that again. I heard the Spirit of the Lord say, this is the last time. He said, this is the last time, baby girl. He said, the last time. Oh, glory be to God. Now, how we perceive things really matters. And the enemy knows this. He wants us to think that he's bigger than he really is. Just like narcissists like to try and pass themselves off as being larger than life, larger than they really are. When they're just toddlers in adult body. And they become more obvious the farther along in God's reality we are in the spiritual awakening. Think about that. The spiritual awakening is God's reality. He took the worldview blinders on and he put the God blinders on. He said, honey child, he said, I got to show you some stuff. He ain't kidding. I love it when God says, I got to show you something. Whenever God says, I got to show you something, I love it. Because it gets clearer and clearer and clearer just what the devil's up to out here in the game of narcissism on the world stage. Shaping people's perception of reality. And it fits the perception management reality. That's exactly why I call it that within the matrix. Because a lot of people don't realize that they're being deceived and doing the deceiving, just as God tells us about. Jesus talked a lot about these scriptures being fulfilled. Well, yeah, that's what we're seeing. Chosen ones, that's exactly what we're seeing. Is a lot of the scripture is being fulfilled during the end stages of life. And while you've got a lot of beautiful moments in the spiritual awakening, we also have a lot of, oh, wow, didn't see that coming. We have a lot of wow moments too, because that's God revealing all. And so when you think about the purging of the subconscious that is part of the renewing of the mind, you've got to keep that in mind. What's your perception of this or that? Now remember, we're not judging things based on outward appearances. Absolutely not. I am in a public parking lot, yes, and there's a lot of traffic and things, so of course I am keeping an eye out, vigilant and aware at all times, not walking on eggshells, but y'all know. And we got to remember, it's the power and authority on the inside of us to not allow people to deceive us or to trick us into, let's just say, spending money unnecessarily. I have a great example for you all. I go into the store, I have a list, and I get exactly what's on that list because that's all I need. I don't need anything else. So I come out of that store. I had some reward points that I could use. So I pretty much got my stuff for almost nothing because I used up some reward points. Why not, right? But see, to someone seeing you, I only have 5 items. That's it, 5 items. But someone who's hustling and that sees that my car, the outward appearances, my car has a few things that could use repairing, but it's not an emergency. You know what I'm saying? It's not preventing me from getting I mean, it's cosmetic. It's outward. It's cosmetic stuff. You know, 'cause we live in a matrix that focuses on outward appearances, how things look on the outside. They don't realize that I can care less about cosmetic things. Because, see, the Florida sun, this vehicle was, well, when it was painted in the Carolinas for that kind of weather. So when you move to a state like Florida where the sun pretty much is going to peel that, well, yeah, and so there's a little of that going on. It's cosmetic. I don't care. I don't care about that. It's what's on the inside. Right? There you go. But you got somebody who's a hustler, you know, bless their heart. We all got bills to pay. I know. But they came up to me and said, hey, you know, they're a mobile dent repair company. Okay, cool bean. And they try to negotiate with me, telling me they can, right there on the spot, within a half hour, they can have something that all fixed up for me. Have it all looking nice in one spot. I'm like, yeah, but what about the top? What about the back? Right? And give me an estimate for that. So they started out with one estimate, and I was like, I said, let me get your number, and I'll put that in there, and I will contact you. I'm going to have to save that. I mean, yeah, so, you know, a few $100, that's a pretty good deal, yeah, but we all got bills to pay, right? And then they were like, well, you know, then they dropped the price by about $150. That's pretty tempting, isn't it? Yeah, to have some cosmetic work done to make the outside of my car look better. And so I'm like, I'm still going to have to get your number. I said, yeah, no. And then they dropped the price even more. Yeah, you see what they're trying to do. And I'm like, okay, now I wonder about your value. Now I wonder about the quality. Because I'm not going to go in and start dropping the prices on all my courses just because it's been a while since somebody's taken the time of taking a course. I'm not going to drop the price just because of that, because I know what the value is. And those of you who are taking the courses, you do too. There's a lot of value. I put a lot of time, energy, and God's wisdom and basic scientific facts, tried and true techniques together. That takes time. I put a lot of work into those. So, as we should, and I continue to put work into all that we do to create the content and the messages and things like that for you all. But they, you know, and it was tempting, you know, for $150. Ooh, really? Let me get your number. Because yeah, I'm like, now I wonder, like, you know, value, quality, because it's like, I get the hustling part, I get the negotiating part, and things like that, but because they were starting to come off as desperate, I started to sense the demon of desperation. I could have probably just said, hey, you know what, I got $50. And they probably would have taken it. No, their time and effort to repair something definitely worth more than that. But I was like, wow. I'm just coming out of the store. And so that reminds me of how we talk about narcissists are like vultures. Now, I don't know that he was a narcissist. I didn't get that vibe. But I did sense his, when he couldn't get $350, I sensed his disappointment. And then, you know, dropping it down even lower, and then even lower. I mean, he was trying, you know, bless his heart. Like I said, I get it. But we're just not going to fall for stuff like that. Because I'm in God's reality. And because it was putting on that pressure. See, that's part of the game of narcissism. Because they know that if they can pursue or pressure or be pushy, he wasn't too pushy, but pushy enough to where I'm like, no. No. See, that's the thing. Chosen ones, we don't like that. We know that that pushiness is very narcissistic. And they're not, right. Well, because a lot of people would cave to that. A lot of people, I know the old version of me would have. The old version of me would likely have caved to that. But see, this ain't the old version of me. This the new version. See, the new version, chosen one, the new version of us, who God is transforming us into. The devil don't want to see that. The narcissist will never want to see that. So the devil don't want to see it. That's why I tell y'all, keep healing, because the devil ain't going to see it anyway. He's just going to try what used to work in the past, because we used to perceive things differently. Our perception shape our reality. And so in my reality, there ain't nothing wrong with this vehicle. It's just, it is what it is. That's cosmetic. It's not an emergency. But that's not the mindset of the Matrix. The Matrix is all about outward appearances. And because that's not the first one that done that. I had another one. In fact, when I was parked on the other side of this parking lot, getting ready to go live, I had one come around and said that he worked for the Honda dealer and he can have all that fixed up. And I was like, gosh, like, what is it? I said, y'all, I told him, I was like, no, I said, this is not the forever thing. All storms are temporary. And so we know the Matrix is very, very, very big on outward appearances. And so if they perceive something as imperfect or a little blemished, it embarrasses them. That's the narcissist for you. If something is a little bit blemished, or if it's a little bit imperfect in their eyes, the way they perceive things, then it embarrasses them. And they don't like it. Because they can't handle those types of negative emotions. They can't handle them. They don't outgrow them. But how we perceive things shapes our reality. That's why it's very, very, very important to be careful. If you are still watching the television or the television, if you're still watching it, oh my gosh, be very mindful what you consume. Because it is a programming tool. Remember, programs, TV programs, television programming. Come on. I mean, it's like they're telling you it's right there. They're not hiding it anymore. But those who are comfortably asleep are not going to catch that. So if I chosen one, it's up to us to stay vigilant and aware. So thank you, everybody, for hitting the thumbs up. Like I said, I don't know how long we're going to be up here today talking about this, because it's really important. I had to share that with you all, because the old version would perceive that hustler as extremely needy. And it would have tugged at my heartstrings, which is what it's supposed to do. Because it's right around the corner. Because they're the ones that mention holiday. Like they need, needing holiday money and stuff. No, not me. Anyhow. And I figured that was a lot of what they're doing. And it's fine, but not everybody out here celebrates that stuff, y'all. Not everybody out here celebrates those things. So you got to remember that too. Yeah, see, that's the perception. All right, that's what the Matrix wants people to believe, is that everybody celebrates these pagan traditions. No, we don't anymore. Not all of us do. Those of us who know what it is, and we put away those childish things. Now, again, I know if you've got kids or if it's part of your calling because it's your gift to create and bear that fruit. Remember, there's a God spirit in them too. They just can't access it. In the narcissist, that is. And they will spend money on that glitz and glam stuff. If you're in the market of making it and you can do that, hey, kudos. Kudos. It's all about perception. Because the devil would love to manage your perception. That's why I call it the perception man. You got your 2 rose-tinted lenses. Then you have your perception management reality, which is 1 clear lens and 1 rose-tinted. Right? Well, you kind of see the stuff. We all went through it. You see it, but you're not sure what it is yet until God awakens us and he's like, oh, yo, get rid of all them rose-tinted lenses. And that. Now you got 2 clear lenses. You got God's spiritual lenses on. And that's what it's all about. And so, yeah, spirit, there you go. That's what we were talking about yesterday, that the spiritual energy is stronger than physical energy. It is higher. If you haven't caught that, it was a short live that I got up to give that message. Short live from yesterday. That would be December 19th, 2024 at the time of this recording. So, right, well, yeah, when you talk about the rose-tinted lenses, it does make you think of those goggles, doesn't it? Yeah, the computer game goggles. It sure does. And, right, we got to know our worth and not be, compromising depending on what it is as far as certain things, but not following the crowd, okay? Not following the crowd. Because, see, I thought about it, like maybe creating a free course. And then I thought, wait a minute. I give a lot of free stuff out already right here on this YouTube channel and on the Patreon free side and across other social media platforms. I said, I already give a lot of free stuff. Okay, I already do, so I'm not going to do that. It may work for others if they don't have anything else, but CHA Academy, it is what it is. The value that's there. So I know my worth. And I know that some people think, see, that's the other thing with the perception management, is that a lot of people think that if it's not more expensive than what they think it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go to the course, How to Detox. Okay, right, the How to Detox course. And you see a price tag, $350. And if they're still operating with the perception that is either too expensive or not enough, that's the scarcity mindset. And so, because $350 is a good deal for the value that you get. Because I'm thinking, okay, well, I got more courses than just that. So the How the Trauma Bond is Formed course is only $175. So you're like, why is that? Because that was the very first course we ever did. So we offered it at a lowered rate. We knew that going forward, we were going to need to increase that. Because of the time, the recording of the videos, putting it on the landing page, designing the notes, and getting them downloaded and then uploaded. And it takes time. All the videos, I got to pre-record, I edit, and then I got to upload into the classroom, if you will. And yeah, so it takes time. It's value. But if somebody goes over there and they see that, they perceive it as being too expensive or not enough, and so they're like, oh, that must not be anything then. Well, that's the scarcity mindset, and we don't have that here in this growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ. We don't have the scarcity mindset. We're developing that abundant mindset because there is abundance everywhere. It's just you won't see it if you're still in the perception management reality. You got to be in God's reality to see it and start getting that. Right. It's right. And have to hustle. Well, see, that's the other thing too. Okay. As far as that goes, Chris, that hustler we talked about earlier. Yeah. Because he was perceiving me as vulnerable because I needed, right. Because he perceived this car as needing some cosmetic work that he identified it as a problem, so he's trying to sell the solution. That's just exactly. I mean, that's how you do things. That's what we do. We identified the problem, radio frequency poisoning, as part of the traumatization. So now, are we selling the solution? Yes. We've got our Patreon digital product line that goes in with that. Plus, we talk a lot about it. We share real world experiences with it, okay, with you all and things like that. So yeah, I don't know that he's not legit. Okay, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to. Yeah, there's no demon of assumption. He got right. His vehicle had what he does, and he gave me a phone number and his name, and I said, well, you know, okay. And I'm sure it's likely that some people never call. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it really, it's something else. It really, truly is. But see, I have his number, and even if I never needed his services, there might be somebody else who is actually looking for that, so I can pass along the information. So we can help in that way, too. But, chosen ones, we are not all concerned with the cosmetics of things like that. No. And, but yeah, that's the thing. You would think that, well, chosen ones, we know we don't have to chase nothing. Opportunities come to us. But those who are not a chosen one, well, it doesn't mean they're a narcissist, but they may have to chase opportunities. Right. And so he's more interested in getting the money rather than providing the service. Okay, that could be true. There's some truth to that, maybe. And then the tele-vision, the tele-vision, it is a hypnosis box. Right. Listen, y'all, for those of us who don't celebrate, okay, these traditions, listen, whenever somebody says happy whatever to us, I just smile and nod. I don't say anything. I just smile and nod and walk away. Now, if you're on the phone and they do it, thank you. You can say thank you likewise. And just leave it at that, okay? Just leave it at that. And you're not lying. It's like you're just kind of, you're being courteous and polite without actually saying it back. You see? So you don't have to say the exact same words back to them. All right? Right, you can download these YouTube videos, right? Exactly. Okay, right, with that thing, you do it for messing with your OCD, ha ha ha. Yeah, we don't want to get into an argument. Exactly. You want to keep the peace, chosen one. So if you are one like us who does not celebrate these things anymore, and somebody tells you happy this or merry this, if it's in person, I smile and nod and have a nice day, being polite. If it's over the phone or what have you, you can just say thank you likewise and leave it at that. Okay? Leave it at that. But we don't, because there's no reason to have a discussion about that. Okay? That's a waste of God's time. But I wanted to get up here and share that with you all and whatnot, because it's very important to understand that how we perceive things shapes our reality, and the devil knows this. So that's why he does a lot of the head games that he does. He plays those head games because he knows if he can get us living in fear and shaping our perception, that shapes our reality, and it becomes what we believe. So you have to remember that too. Very important. All right, everybody. So that wraps this one up. I thank you. Like I said, I knew it was going to be a quick one. we're going to get back into doing longer live streams. Yes. Okay, we are going to get back into it. It's not because of the holidays or anything. It's just there are some other things that got to get taken care of as well. But I have to get up here and I got to serve. I don't care if it's 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Sometimes, sometimes they're shorter than others. We like to try to go for about an hour, but it also depends on the topic. It depends on how much we have to say about it. Because I talk a lot about that perception management reality and how perception shape our reality. And you will hear more about it because it's part of our messaging. So we will talk more about it because there's going to be, there's going to be new chosen one who joined this growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ who might not come across this video or the other one yet. So we are going to touch on all of these things because it's very important to remember so that we don't allow the devil to continue to deceive us and to try and shape our perception of reality. Okay? Yeah, we don't want the devil to shape our reality. We know he's just a tiny little toddler. Okay? And that things on this planet, come on now. Yeah, we can see things as they are. Glory be to God. All right, so I'm sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your continued support. Till next time, let's show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father, and you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen.